we'll make a whale out of a piece of paper. I've already started folding a little bit just to show you what I'm doing. And we'll need a pair of scissors, glue, pencil, and our paper. I have whales here that I've already made. And you can see that here's the blowhole where the whale breathes. This could also be made into a stick puppet. If you'd like to, you could put a stick right on the bottom, and then you could have it so it would move easily when you're doing some puppet work. Here's another one I made, different color. And could be the great white whale. I made this one out of a thinner piece of paper, and I used, instead of using glue, I used tape. This was my first one that I made just to see how it worked. And it does. So I have 3 whales here. So you can see they're easy to make. And here, let's begin. We have a sheet of paper, and this is a heavier piece of paper because it makes for a sturdier whale. And first thing we do is to take our corner and fold it down to the bottom so that we make a triangle right here. There it is. And we want to make sure that we crease that big edge that we've just folded. Right there, like that. That's easy. And then we'll take our scissors and we'll cut that extra piece. So we're really making a square with our paper. And we'll save this because we'll use it later. Then we open our paper and we'll take a corner, just like this, and we'll fold it into the edge. You see that's the big fold right there? So I folded it into the edge. Almost looks like it could be a kite if I folded this side in, but no, I'm just leaving one side folded in, just like that. And rub your fingers good so that it's nice and tight. Then we turn our paper, we open it up, and we fold it again back like we started in our big square fold. And you'll notice this line that runs right here. We're going to cut with our scissors from the bottom of our point, which is the tail, right up to that line. And we're not going to cut past the line. We're just going to make a lot of cuts up to that folded line that we made all the way along our whale. So it starts to look like that. Just working up the edge, right? Might take you a little bit. You have to be careful when you get to that folded spot. But we're cutting it all the way up to that until we get just about that far. Just like half the way up where the point is. So then we open it up. And you'll notice that we have our slots all the way through the center. Now the piece that is folded, we're going to put glue on it, the whole thing. Just take your glue stick and glue that whole paper on the edges. Try not to get it on everything else, but just that whole paper up and down and around. Just like that. Now we'll take this piece, this corner, and we'll fold it over until it gets to the edge of that fold. And then we will push it down so that it sticks all the way down. And you can see we've started to have the shape of our whale that we're making. We have our slats. Now we take this piece, the pointed edge, and we're going to trim it so that it looks like a whale's mouth, which is round. He has a big round mouth. And so we're going to just round that off with our scissors. Take off that little point that was there so that it looks like that. And when we have that done, that will be the head. Just like that. There it is. Now we need to put in the mouth and tongue. So what we'll do is to just line the piece of paper up about as wide as his mouth, and we'll just clip it like that. And on one end, I'm going to round it off so that it will look like the bottom of his mouth. So I've just curled the edges a little bit. And then we'll take the glue and we'll glue just the top, the flat side, just a little bit, well, maybe halfway down. We'll just glue that on the straight side, and we'll put it into his bottom, and we'll lay it in there so that it'll make his mouth, the bottom of his mouth. Just like that. He's starting to look like a whale. Then I think I'll make a pink tongue. So I need to do the same thing again. I'll just take the paper and kind of size it up across where his mouth is. I'll take a little pencil and mark just a little bit inside. And then I'm going to draw his tongue just like you would draw a tongue like that. Cut it out. And then I've rounded the edges for the front, and we'll put all of that inside his mouth. So we put glue all over the pink tongue. And put it in place. So we'll see his mouth, but we'll see his tongue too, like that. There it is. Now we have some more decorating to do. We have to do his eyes, and that's an easy part. I'll use a piece of white paper, and I just am going to draw 2 circles. Just 2 round circles. Make sure they're about the same size, and then we'll cut them out. Let's see. Not too difficult. There's 1, 2. Then I'll take my pencil, or if you have a big piece of black ink pen, or whatever color you would like to use for an eye, we just put in the eye centers like that. Then we glue them and put them on the side of our whale. They have their eyes further down. They're not up toward the top, but they're further on the side of their face or their head. Like that. There he is. Now, to make his, well, look, he's moving too. We could get him to move. To make his fluke, the fluke is the word that they use for his tail. I just take a piece of my blue that I had, and I'm going to fold it in half, and then I'm going to draw maybe a half of a heart a half of a heart on there. You'll see half of a heart. There it is. And then I'll cut it. And this will be his fluke, or his tail. There's the heart. We don't have to cut it any more than that, but I'll take my glue right down the center of my heart and place his tail right there in place. So you'll see it makes his fluke, his tail. And there it is. When it dries, it'll stay good. Then we need to do his fins. So I still have my piece of paper, and I need 2. So I could fold it in half like I did, and then just draw 2, however big you want his fins to be. I'm just going to make round like that, and then I'll cut them in half. So I'll have 2. And you can shape them up if you'd like to, make them look a little bit better, however you would like them. And then on one side, just one, rub the glue, and then we'll place it right about there. That looks like a good place. And then do the other side. They should both be going the same way, that's for sure. So you have to make sure that you do that. There he is. He's all finished. We could put a blowhole right at the top. That's where the whale breathes. Just like we breathe from our nose, the whale must breathe. And so he has to go down under the water. He stays under there, maybe even well over an hour. But he has to come up to breathe again. And at nighttime, when he sleeps, he only sleeps with half of his brain. We sleep with all of our brain, resting. But the whale only sleeps with half, because that's what reminds him to wake up and go up to the top of the water and breathe again. A whale can move about 30 miles an hour. That's about as fast as a car would go through Atkinson when we're driving in town. So that's pretty fast. I've got to fix my wings. If they come off, you just have to push them on again or put a little bit more glue. Mine just came off, so yours might too. Anyway, there we are.